Alright, Gemini, hopefully y'all can hear me. I think you can. I double checked everything, but who fucking knows at this point, right? This is where I feel like, a lot of the time with Gemini, I try to keep it a very closed reading, but I do feel like this probably applies to many people with Gemini up in their chart in general, not just Gemini Sun. So I'm gonna say this is one of those I say is a Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. And so if you're not one of those though, you can step out, right? Like you can step back. I don't really fuck with doing cross watching reads. I never will, never have. And so if you watching, just know it's at your own discretion. That if you listening and you get offended by something I say, because you know that it's about you, and you know you be playing games, like it hits home so hard for you, and it's hard for you to hear. Then I'm not your type of reader, right? Because if you can't take that criticism, you don't belong here. If you can't take self criticism, you just don't belong on this channel. All right, that's just what's up. And so, Gemini, I know y'all. I know y'all can take self criticism. I don't give a fuck what anybody else really has to say, but y'all. So, just saying, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. That's about it. That's all I'm looking for. If you not those things, and I repeat, do not listen to this and think it's just about you, right? Because at the end of the day, you might read the title and be like, "Oh, this is something I'm going through with the Gemini." It's like, but I'm gonna be real with you. Whatever brought you here is not going to be that title, especially if you're not Gemini. It's not going to be that title. It's the truth about you and who you are as a person. Because when I talk in a reading, I'm centering it around the sign that I'm reading for. I'm not centering it around you. So if you are not open to criticism, do not come here to my channel. That's what I'm saying. Okay? So Gemini. It's been a minute. It's been a while. You're going to keep seeing me like look out in the window, because for the most part I feel like today is just one of those gloom and doom days where we got to talk about gloom and doom shit, but we don't want to talk about it, where it's like, though it is something that's nice to know, it's nice to present, I don't think it's going to be one of those like nice and good nice readings where you get some good news. I feel like it's going to be good news and bad news, but mostly bad news. And I don't think it's bad news about you in particular. I think it's the surrounding people around you. I think there's stuff about people being grown but not doing grown activities. It just feel like, to me, it's like a bunch of grown people but they're children at heart. And to me, that's real. I hate that shit, and I know y'all hate that shit. It's like kindergartners, right? It's like literal children. Like I keep picking up on parents or people in general who are grown-ass people but act like literal toddlers, like tots. Like they literally have temper tantrums, they bawl over something they can't have. It's like you might be dealing with a man or a woman who like cries and bitches and moans if they don't get exactly as like how it is, exactly what they want, and that's kind of what I feel. It's like you guys have settled for so many things that you haven't wanted in your past and in your present. You've settled for so many things that you thought was like, I guess, right at the time, because you couldn't come up with or think of any other way but to maybe accept something lesser. And that's humbleness, that's like the humble activities of Gemini, in my opinion, is that you guys often accept less than usual just because it's like you're trying to put yourself in a position of like humbling. And it's not that you always want to put yourself down, but I just feel like that type of temperament that you have and that type of patience you have for people is unlike no other. I just don't think there's a sign in the zodiac that actually can do that other than y'all. So while I would say like people have limited patience and limited time, I think you guys also take the time to try to understand other people. And that's why this conversation is really hard. This is why this particular reading, I think, is going to be maybe a little bit harder to hear, just because it's like, regardless of how good you try to do for people, regardless of how much you put into people, how much work you try to give, it feels like there's so many situations in your life that go south, that go absolutely nowhere. Like they don't even hit a spot of like being like the golden age in your life. They don't even hit a spot of being successful at all. Okay, that's what I feel. And I don't think this is a work thing. I definitely think this is a people thing, because I think with work you can accept the fact that you're not going to be the most glamorous successful golden bitch out there. You know, some of us can. You know, there's a whole other slew of Gemini that will fight for the shit. That will literally talk. You know, stand on whatever they gotta stand on the soapbox type shit to fight for what they want. And then there's a slew of Geminis that is okay with settling and being okay with. I don't care if I'm the most glitzy glamour bitch out there. I'm gonna accept what I have and be happy with what I have, right? I just feel like relationship wise and emotionally, that's not gonna work for you. Okay. So while you might be the most reasonable bitch out here, settling for someone who is emotionally neglectful, settling for someone who's abusive, settling for someone who's gone through abuse and proceeds to give abuse to others just because they've gone through the path. And it's not a just because I want to make that important as well. Whatever you've been through in your past, whatever they've been through in their past, those things are valid. But what is not valid is treating someone in the present like shit. And that's kind of where I think you're being. Not only are you being faced with the consequences from your past, this person is also being faced with the consequences of their past. So whether that's, you know, what we view that as karma here in like the spiritual realm, but it doesn't always have to be perceived that way. It can be perceived as like, okay, you reap what you fucking sow. Like, okay, you go through things and then you start acting a certain way, and it all comes to you obviously because that's what you're putting out. That's what you're going to attract. I view that as karmic, because we attract negative things when we're in a negative mind state. Once we change that mind state, even if we were in a negative place, we start soaring. We start feeling a lot different. It's a totally different perspective. And I think perspective has a lot to do as well with you and this person's problems. Okay? And for some reason, I feel like I'm talking to almost like I'm in therapy with a couple, or in therapy with a parent and a child. I feel like I'm in therapy with like people who definitely are like aware of each other, have been through years and years of neglect or abuse or some sort of like relationship that has tied you down. Though you haven't always been in a bad place, I feel like more recently it's just being bad. It's been feeling like you're suffering, and that to feel crushed like that, and not to feel heard, and not to feel respected or loved, that hurts. You know, that really does hurt. You try to ignore. I see you're trying to ignore it. I see like someone's doing like excessive smoking, excessive drinking, or you know, if you're not a smoker or a drinker, it's trying to keep yourself busy. Excessive working, even. It's trying to keep yourself busy, keep yourself away from all of this anger. Really, I think it's anger, majority of it. I think it's trying to not waste your time, right? Because we have limited time here. There's also a pattern of decisions where I see someone is trying to work in excess to try to get your attention. Meaning they're going to throw their ass until they have you basically on the spot. They're going to keep throwing their ass until you respond to them. Or it's like it's a kind of a test of time. It's like they'll ask you a question, but they don't want you to respond to the question. It's like that type of thing, where it's like, okay, they'll ask you a direct question, or they'll ask you something, but they don't want you to necessarily respond to it. It just feels to me like it brings back a memory for you, like a not particularly fond one. It feels like parental. There's also things to do with the reason why I named this "Eat Your Heart Out" is because I feel like someone's trying to either make you jealous or make you believe that you should be jealous about something, or make you believe that like in some type of way they're better than you, or like someone's going to receive something better if they say it versus you saying it. It's just something real strange. I feel like whatever this is, it's like you guys are not alike at all. So that's why I don't understand why there's a compare contrast, why that there's like this almost like need for this person to sit there and criticize or pick apart your life when y'all are not alike at all. And I don't think this person even thinks about perspective. I don't even think this person puts themselves in the shoes of you or any other individual but themselves. I don't think they're capable of that. I truly don't. I think it's a lot of selfishness that has been encouraged in this person, by whether it be by the people that they were raised by the baby mom, the baby dad, whoever it is. To me, it just feel like there's not really a lot of good encouragement that this person's had throughout their life, and as a response, they have been a jealous, nasty, greedy, narcissistic pig. Okay, yeah, that's what I view it as. It's like, for better or for worse, I feel like you've dealt with a lot of greedy, nasty, narcissistic pigs. I don't, in a way, it's like I understand why your interest in these people has be kind of consumed your life, because what they want you to do is forget everyone else but them, right? What they want you to do is leave everything behind and become kind of like their slave, like their soldier type shit. It's like you're somebody who, no matter what, even if this person walks over on you, crunches you up, makes you feel like the smallest person in the world, you'll always stand tall for them. And that's what they've tried to break you down and try to make you feel like. You have to be small around me, but big around everybody else. It's like a ego thing, right? I think there's like desensitization that happened with you in dealing with this person, because you shut down your heart, basically. I think you like shut down the emotional side to yourself when you're talking to this person. You start to think you're real logical, and that's a whole entire mistake as well. Because I think that PTSD, or whatever that person has left, whatever marks or I feel like scars that person has left in you, has basically riddled you full of holes. It's made you second guess yourself at every step when it comes to emotional relationships, with love, with romance. It's made you second guess every single step of love. Whether that be love for a pet, love for a parent, love for a sibling, a child. It's made you second guess your every single step, because you've allowed these claws to continuously hurt you or harm you. I keep viewing like there's something going on with someone saying, I worked hard for this, right? I think this is you. I'm going to say this is you, Gemini. I worked really, really hard to get to this point. And I feel like someone around you has also said that. I feel like whether, like I said, a parent or like a sibling or something like that, they're like, well, I also worked really hard for this. It might be, I'm going to give you an example, right? It's like when your parent says, like, I put you into this world and I can take you out of it. It's like you're ungrateful. I did this for you. I worked really fucking hard for you, and you still don't respect me. You still don't look at me any type of way. I feel like someone is talking down to you like that, and you're also saying, well, I worked hard for everything that I have built. You aren't recognizing anything I have built. Why is it always you? Why do you always criticize me, but I can't criticize you? Like, why is it that we're always fighting, and that you can't take any type of criticism from my mouth? Why don't you respect me? Why don't you tell me, like, why can't I tell you how I feel, but you can talk all this shit, all this mess about me? Why does it always stop at, you get to say whatever you want, but I can never ever have an opinion, right? Or my opinion gets muddled out by your trauma, your bullshit, your past. Your past matters more than mine. It's like that type of shit. And now, like I said, if this is a parent, like I could see that, even though that's really neglectful, it's still really abusive and foul. If this is a partner, that's even more so worrying to me, right? Because why is your partner pinning you down like you're a child? Why is your partner putting you in the position to feel like a literal child? That's what I don't understand. It's like childhood healing. The healing process of going through your trauma. This might be something you're going through right now. Like, these could all be past fears and past insecurities coming in on you and kind of marking you up and making you feel some type of way in a relationship, and it's affecting you and your partner. But I really do feel like someone is talking to you this way, and it's very disrespectful. It's very foul. It does not come from a place of love. I don't think it's warranted. I don't think anyone deserves this type of ignorance. I don't believe that. That's kind of the gist, I think, of what you're dealing with people. It's like this unknown, like you don't even know necessarily where it always comes from. It's just complete ignorance. It's being real foul. And I don't think until you tackle like the direct problem that any of these people will go away. I truly don't believe that you have right now the solid values in place yet, like where you should be believing that you deserve something better. But I don't think you do. You keep humbling yourself for some reason. I don't know. I don't think that that's healthy. Okay, because being cocky is not healthy as well. because you just gonna continuously get hurt if you go out cocky and start just doing shit impulsively. I also think impulsivity is one of Gemini's traits that is underrated, because you guys are capable of doing so much all at the same time compared to most people. The entrepreneurial bit, the bit of like kind of separating your time, having a really good schedule, even if the schedule isn't always on point, it's like whatever ends up happening to you is almost like divine and fated. And that's kind of how I feel, is that you guys need to use that impulsivity towards something better, but instead you maintain this distance from what you want because you don't believe you necessarily deserve, you know. It's all very, very I think it's like a lot of complex trauma. It's a lot of complex shit. So there's a couple other things I wrote down, and then we'll get into the actual reading portion of tarot. So they also talked about something to do with like some sour ass person, like someone who puts a real sour taste in your mouth. Like every time you talk to them, you can't help but to feel like very, very like vicious or vain, I guess would be the word, vain. It makes you feel very sour, like very grossed out. To even like imagine a conversation between you and this person, it makes you cringe and it makes your skin crawl. Like I just feel all of the signs of like discomfort and like feeling very, very disgusted with yourself. I don't know, you know, this is kind of where I think the complex trauma really kicks in, because they talk about also sour pussy. So this could be talking to the other woman that your man is messing with, or it could be talking to a man, you know, that your woman is messing with. So this is like talking to the ex, or talking to the new partner, or talking to the ex-wife, something to do of that nature, where it's like someone's real, such a sour, nasty bitch. I just picked that up. Okay, very sour. This could also be the dynamic where you get sour maybe at your step parent. It could be like a stepdad, stepmom, you know, step family in general. It's just very sour and nasty. They talk about generational gaps. Okay, and when I first saw kind of like this aspect of generational gap, I didn't instantly think about necessarily age. Okay, what I thought about is the things that certain generations believe to be true that are not true. I'm going to give the biggest example, is that therapy is unhelpful, or therapy is something that only pussies do. That's a belief. That belief and that structure that they believe was true back in the day, that's very destructive. Okay, different things like, oh, alcohol won't hurt the baby type shit. It's like very stupid things that today we're like, are you kidding me? Like, are you out of your motherfucking mind? Why the fuck would you drink with a baby in your gut? It's things that they definitely, first of all, they did not have textbooks on. And second of all, any type of information that was out there was bound, it was like going to hurt somebody no matter what. It was going to affect you no matter what. That's what they're trying to say, is like that mentality, that tradition that they call generational gap, that was bound to hurt you no matter what. Okay, there is not a person in this world that was not affected by that generational gap. There just wasn't. Okay, if you think your family is perfect, you know, they all got the pearly whites, they all sitting there, you know, they up in their you know, Hiltons, and you know, they got 3 floors, and they got the pool outside. If you think your family did not have to fight tooth and nail, right, through nastiness, then they might be the nasty ones. The ones with the pool in the yard might be the nasty ones. But I'm just saying, if you didn't think they had to fight for that shit through the generational gap, through the tradition, you're dead wrong. Okay, if you think that what they try to tell you is like, oh, my life's been perfect so far, nothing has happened. If you believe that to be true, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong for that. They can say that their life's been perfect, but it absolutely has not been. There is not one person in this world that I would ever believe that from, ever. So I'm just saying, like, y'all be perceiving it like, where do I get all this trauma from? That why did you treat me so bad? Why was I the target then? If nothing has ever happened in this gap that we have, whether it be age gap or tradition, why am I being treated so horribly? I don't understand. Where the fuck does that come from? It's the generational gap. It's things, such insensitive, invalidating, and fucked up things that were believed by a group people, a generation of people that they carried on and continue to believe to this day, even though it's proven that they're wrong. And they can't admit that they're wrong. Now they can sidestep and say, oh, let's agree to disagree, but they'll never directly agree with you. And that is frustrating for most of y'all, for Gemini especially, because it's like, if you know something's a fact, it's a fact. It's not, we don't, like, stop trying to base something off of your knowledge, because your knowledge can be wrong. It's a fact, though. You know, it's a fact, right? You know, like, I think this person that you're dealing with is also the type of person to be like, you know, you can't trust everything you see. But it's at the same time, it's like you've done the research. Like, there's millions and millions and millions and millions of documents worth of research online. It's like, bitch, you can look at the research. You know, it's not that complicated. Well, they made it up and they did this and they did that. That's like someone who's so superstitious and so weird. And it's not superstitious in a good way. This is somebody who believes in, like, Bigfoot and that. Or it doesn't even need to be fucking Bigfoot necessarily. It's like they just believe in such fake, false, like, dumb shit. It's just so fucking stupid. Like, almost unbelievably so, right? There might be a horrible relationship between this person and women, females, how they think a woman should act, how they think a female should act. How they perceive the woman in the relationship is really fucked up. How they view a woman in general, though, has been kind of like forced into them, or forced down their throat, shoved down their throat, and they refuse to change or back down from that belief. They are going to put you in a submissive position no matter what you do. If you're a female, if you're a male, and you're dealing with someone who hates other females, you're definitely more of a, you're gonna be that male that's secluded from all females in his life, including his mother, his sister. You know, you're gonna be that male that is secluded from females because your person, your girlfriend, or your wife, the person you choose to share your life with, hates your mom, hates your sister, hates females. Okay? Hates females. It's such an interesting relationship, right? Because they had such a bad upbringing with their particular mother. They can never ever get along with no other female. It doesn't matter. Like I said, they want you to fall in line with them no matter what, even if it means betraying your whole entire family, your whole entire structure, everyone you love, everyone you know. Okay? They want you to basically betray everyone in your life for them. Like I said, very narcissistic. Very narcissistic. So, another thing I wrote under generational gap was, why would I listen to someone so unsuccessful? That's a good point. Gemini, hear me out. Success isn't defined by materialism. It's not defined by the pool in your yard. It's not defined by the number of cars that you have. It's not defined by the number of floors you got in your house. It is definitely not defined by that. Okay? Successful is contentment, right? It's contentment, feeling content with your life. And you know the people around you have never, ever, ever felt contentment. You can tell, right? Because very simple and basic things still stress them to this day. Very simple and basic things still make them feel like suffocating, used, abused. They still act out of a place of trauma. They can't stand not to be the center of attention. They can't stand not to be, you know, vindicated or validated or put on a pedestal in some type of way. They are still heavily affected by what other people think. That is a for sure sign that this person is unsuccessful, uncontent with their life. And the fact that you are becoming more and more content with who you are as a person is triggering, because they want to argue with you. They want to put you down. They want you to feel like you are lower than them, lower on the caste system in some type of way, you know. So there's also something to do. I wrote this down too. Going before their time, mom or dad. So, you know, it could be death of a parent. It can also be possibly, you know, you might be somebody who had a really hard time with, like, divorce and stuff like that growing up because your parents divorced, someone walked out of your life, maybe your father walked out of your life, maybe your mother walked out of your life completely and left you behind with one parent. So you might come from a one-parent household. If not a one-parent household, then you definitely dealt with absentee. Okay, you definitely dealt with someone who was either emotionally or physically absent from your life for a long period of time, and that's created a huge amount of distress for you, growing up and dealing with not only, possibly people talking about it around you and maybe making fun of you or maybe talking shit, but also a case of like, where am I? Like, where am I in this lifetime? Like, why did my parent who's supposed to love me unconditionally not love me growing up? Why did they not care about me? Why did they not stay behind for me? Why did they not support me in my choices to, maybe move out early? Or why did they not support me when mom was acting this way and this person was acting this way? When I was being hurt, why did nobody reach out to me? Why didn't they touch base with me? That's something that I feel like in this particular collective has been kind of like a gut punch, okay, a sucker punch. And I think it's been very, very hard for you to get over, not even get, because you'll never ever truly get over those things, by the way. You'll never truly get over them. They'll always be echoing in the back of your subconscious. But what you will get through is the coping mechanism, right? The things that you need to hear in replacement of somebody leaving you, right? You might need more than the average person. In your mind, you might need more than the average person. More validation, more love, more criticism, more someone sticking to your side physically, more of somebody, giving to you in an intimate way, sexually. That might be sexually, that might be holding hands, that might be more kisses, more hugs, more validation. You might feel like you're a person who needs more validation, though I'm going to say, you honestly, this, to me, I view this as the normal amount of validation. For you and what you saw growing up, you're basing it off of that. So you might not have seen parents who loved each other, parents who cared for each other, parents who could even sleep in the same bed with each other. You might not have seen that. You might have seen something very dysfunctional, very fucked up, and very destructive. And as a response, you punish yourself. Especially when you want for more in relationships. You punish yourself. You create almost like a hammer. And that's what I kind of see in my head. It's like you kind of hamming yourself down. Like, it's like a whack-a-mole, right? It's like every single time you come up and want love, it's like you hammer yourself down, or you try to suppress it. You try to like put it in the bag, or put it in a bag type shit, and zip it the fuck up and get the fuck rid of it. He's like, well, why would I push that onto my partner? Why would I make my partner feel uncomfortable? But it's like, why is your partner uncomfortable with affection and love? Why is that someone you chose when in reality you are someone who wants to be affectionate and wants that extra love, wants to be seen in public with your person, wants pictures of this person, pictures of being around you and this motherfucker? It's like, why would you choose somebody who doesn't add up to that particular taste, right? It just doesn't, in a way, it's like, because of the constant punishment that you deal with yourself, you also punish the potential partners. You also punish the potential people that could come into your life and change it for the better, for the good. I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm saying for sure there's been people you've rejected in your life who you've kind of regretted rejecting, because at the end of the day, you knew that they had what was best for you in their heart, in their chest. They acted out of a means of protection and wanting to love you, and you ran away from them. Okay, and that's something that I just typically see with Gemini. It's abandonment. I see that when you guys have that particular background of having someone who neglected you, like I said, then whether they weren't there for you emotionally, they didn't believe you, or they wasn't there physically. I typically see this with Gemini, where they will abandon people who love them. Not who treat them like shit, not the parent who treats you like shit, not the siblings who treat you. I'm not talking about that unconditional type of love. I'm talking about people who were there and had your back 1,000%, and you've abandoned them or left them out in some type of way. I'm not saying everyone moves at their own pace, right? And everyone will, hold on, they're trying to do advertisements. Everyone will try to move at their own pace. Everyone will push forward in their own way. But I feel like you push people away out of fear, because you knew they loved you. That's one thing I see, and that I do agree. You knew they loved you, and I think you ended up really regretting the fact that you didn't return that love in the end, that you pushed it away from you. I really do. I really do feel that. I feel that you made a bad judgment call, and whether that was something that could have helped you or not, you knew the feeling behind that. You knew the reason why that person stuck with you for so long, or you knew the reason why that person would try to talk you through everything, communicate with you, and constantly be there for you. You know, what I view this at is a person who just accepted who you were. They loved who you were, even if who you were or was not the most healthy or respectful. Okay. And this could have been a grandparent, this could have been a parent, this could have been a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or someone that you had on the side of another relationship. And that's how this person felt. Okay. And I just want to let you know that now it's all done and over with. That's kind of it. There's an ending, right? So that's how I view it, you know. But it's still something you think about to this day that you feel bad about. You know, there might be many people who you've kind of left off because of that abandonment trope that you have constantly running through your head, and it's really hard to get through and get over. But I'm not saying you have to get over. What I'm saying is you got to change the language. Okay. What you have to do is start asking directly for what you want. Okay, and if you want more love in a connection or relationship, you want more compliments in a connection or relationship, you want more validation in any type of way, those are things that you need to communicate. But, you know, let's continue, because I have a couple more things, and like I said, then we get to the cards. Black sheep with a fear of death and all natural life. That is something that I feel like describes you. Okay. Well, logical is usually the route we Gemini affected people typically go. Logical. I don't think you think logically when you see how much death in life in general affects people. I do think emotions kind of play a big role in this fear of possibly being responsible for someone else's life, possibly having children, or the fact that you maybe already even had children in the first place, and it's already created this whole trope in your head where you're very scared of what will happen to this child, or to your future children, or what will happen to your future partner. You're always worried about that. It's like you're worried about people's futures more than they're worried about their own future. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's what I'm picking up on. It's like you're so worried about where they're going with themselves, you can't even worry about yourself. And that makes me kind of think a little bit that you guys have a very big responsibility with taking care of others spiritually. Okay? I think you have a really big responsibility with actually taking care of people spiritually and emotionally. And whether you try to become a therapist, a tarot reader, a spiritualist, an astrologer, wherever you end up landing, it's all going to lead back to that. It's all going to lead back to you being the shoulder that people cry on, the person that people listen to, the responsible one or the responsible connection that will sit there and make sure that you are there for people who never got it. Or there are people that kind of reflect yourself, okay, your own self-image, that remind you of yourself. You're going to be there for them, okay? So that's what I picked up on as well. It's like this idea where you are afraid. You fear holding people responsible. You fear death and all natural life. You fear this idea that you're going to have to be there for someone one day, and you're going to have to watch someone break down and die someday, or you're going to break down and die someday, and other people aren't going to be able to control that, and you're going to feel bad for that. But it's like that hasn't even come yet, and if it has come, it's come in a way that I don't think you ever expected. I don't think you expected you to either last this long through whatever this tragedy is, or through whatever this death is. I don't think you expected the way that death or life, I guess, was going to hit you. I really don't. So that's also something that popped up. And then they also talked about a gangbanger. Now, this doesn't have to be anything in particular. I view this particular terminology as something that might be a little bit more leaning towards a particular type of trope within, like a degenerate within someone's life. So it's possible that you've been surrounded by that your whole life, or that you became that, and at one point you decided to change your life, obviously, so that otherwise you wouldn't be here, listening to me. Now, I do think that there's something behind people not believing you, or believing in the experiences that you've had when you was growing up or as a kid, or even the experiences that you have right now under your belt when it comes to being a gangbang. Okay, when it comes to that type of tie, it's like you bet your life on shit where you have a blood tie with people, even a blood pact with people. You tie yourself into a reality that is so like life or death situation, so on edge that the adrenaline from that experience still affects you to this day. That you still think about the people's faces. You still think about, you know, the things that you had to do to survive. You still think about the death. You still see these things in these images in your brain, and whether it affects you in a like a post-traumatic way, or affects you in a way where you're just thinking about it all the time, like logically you're going through the aspect, and you see other people being afflicted or affected by this whole entire situation. I just believe that someone's not believing your experience, or someone's not taking into account your experience when they talk to you. I think you're a very different person. I think that you've changed yourself so much, so maybe not change yourself, but you changed your mindset. You changed your mindset. There's something to do with completely changing mindset, and as a result, your whole entire life had broken out of a cycle. And I think that a person doesn't particularly believe you, or they don't listen to you when you say you have this trauma, when you say that you have this background, because of how much you have changed. So I want to confirm that, and I want to congratulate you, but I also don't want to dull down your experience and say that it's okay for this person to sit there and either clown on you or tell you that, you know, oh, I don't believe you when you say that because you're such a gentleman, or you're such a, you know, you're such a kind woman. Like, you know, I couldn't even see that coming out of you. It's like that's still putting down someone's experience. And I think it's important that we acknowledge that that's real, that you've been through that experience, but also that you have gotten through the loophole and the threshold that created a whole different mindset, a whole different life or death type shit, you know, a whole different universe, a whole different world. Okay, so let me get the cards out and let's see what's going on, because we got some shit laid out already, but you know, I've been feeling this, y'all. I've been feeling this reading, so let's see what's up. All right, okay, yeah, this is step up to the palm. Okay, okay, so they talking about when somebody isn't recognizing your the amount of work that you do within a relationship. When someone isn't recognizing your passion in a relationship, there is ways that you can, I'm not saying you have to convince anyone really, but there is ways that you can kind of pull away from somebody and get them to understand. So I don't know if that's something that you've already done. Possibly you've pulled away from a relationship that wasn't treating you right, or that has told you that you're not doing enough, or that you haven't changed enough. It's like you've pulled away from somebody who has criticized you, picked at you and on you, made you feel some type of way. Let's see. Okay, they said 10 of Swords, so it's over. You know, you're done playing that game. You're done feeling some type of way. You're done not allowing yourself to relax because someone wants to force you and try to make you think that you're wrong in some type of way, or that you're still a child, you're still a kid, you're still irresponsible. You're done doing that. That's just not something you need for yourself. The person that you're dealing with could be a Scorpion. It could be a Scorpio. Person that you're dealing with could also be Pisces. They talk about a lot of water energy, so this could be maternal, okay, maternal or paternal, but mostly maternal or feminine energy. They talk about Knight of Cups, so there's an offer coming through. It feels like this offer more or less has to do with like someone waving the white flag, like saying, "No, okay, fine. Like I guess I'll apologize, or I guess I'll say something." It's like someone being so fed up, I guess, with arguing with you, that they're just saying, okay, fine. But to me, that feels like a cop-out, because I don't truly believe that this person is I truly believe this person is still very sour, and that they're going to bring this up again and again and again and again. Like, you're just going to have to talk about this. You're going to keep going through this same thing with this person. I do think this person is begging, though. I think they're begging. It's more like a hands and knees type situation where I think this person will beg emotionally, maybe start crying or something like that. They keep talking about someone having like pools in their eyes or tears in their eyes or like red around their eyes or in their eyes. Maybe someone's under the influence or something like that. Maybe there's something to do with like somebody you thought was on drugs is on drugs and they actively come to you while on drugs. So it's like some bizarre interaction that you have with them that is so unlike any other. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why is it? Why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you doing this? Like, it don't even make no motherfucking sense. I don't understand. Why am I being bombarded with this shit? Why is this something that I have to deal with? Okay, I'm gonna try to show y'all the cards. I keep showing you. Six of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not your enemy. No, I'm your friend. I've always been your friend. I'm not your enemy. I am on your side. Feels like this person has tried to make amends in the past before, because they talk about intermediate level of like someone apologizing. It's like, okay, this was like the next step. The next step was this person just popping up on you, or the next step was this person like just showing up in different locations, or the next step was this person stalking you or doing some weird shit, having people call and check in on you possibly, or talking to other people, or posting shit online, like posting shit on Facebook, posting shit on Instagram, posting shit on Snapchat, posting shit everywhere. Like, that was their next step. Yeah, this person said, I'll die trying to get in contact with you or something like that, or before I want to get in contact with you before I die. That could be also a situation or scenario. Before I die, I want to talk to you. It don't make no sense, is what they say. It just doesn't make no sense. This person's like irresponsibility. The fact that they're willing to put certain things on the line, like your life, I feel like was also on the line in this scenario situation. It might be that this person used you. I'll pick up on a bum, or like somebody who didn't necessarily care on whether you were financially supporting them or not. Either the way they was going to find a check. Either way they was going to find some type of way to live off of you or near you. So it didn't really matter whether you was supporting them or some other bitch or some other hoe, some other nigga was supporting them. It just feel like to me they were going to use you no matter what, or be around you no matter what, try to force you no matter what. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so they snuck around. They snuck. I pick up like somebody like tiptoeing around the house, or possibly it's like if they see you in a physical location and they duck their head, or they hide in the car or something weird like that, or hiding behind your materials is what I keep picking up on. So I don't know if it's like your materials is finances or money, like they hid certain things about themselves behind your money, or could be something that you own. Let's see. Let's talk about, okay, penny pushing. Yeah, they keep talking about pushing pennies. Penny pushing. Someone could have been a gambler. Oh, food. They said food for thought. Okay, so the Empress in the upright. This is what I view as you. Okay, but now this person could view themselves as this. They could think they're the hottest shit on the block type shit. But this is how I view you. This is how I think you are. I think you are very giving and maternal and loving, and I think there's something very classic about you, very classy about you. I think a lot of people envy that about you. I think that there's a whole other like side to you that I don't think a lot of people understand, which is your codependency. It's you, like, you'll give, you'll give so much, right? But when you get back, you're very, very like, what is it? You're very shy or flustered. Like you don't like getting things back, but you like giving. Giving is like your love language in a way. I think giving people material is a love language for you. I think giving people like compliments, giving people sex, giving for you is your love language. Okay, so that could be vice versa as well. It could be like someone financially giving to you is very sexy or attractive. Somebody like putting a roof over your head could be very sexy and attractive. Somebody like making a house into a home could be very attractive to you. Nine of Wands in the upright. Yeah, they're talking about how there is has been a lot of mistakes made based on self-worth, based on how you view yourself and how they view you. They could view you as a like wide-eyed idiot, basically like a dumbass or like a child or a kid. There could be an age difference here. They view you as someone who knew nothing about nothing, but that's not true. Two of Pentacles, I mean, that's one of y'all's cards in my mind. That's one of y'all's cards in my mind. Just look at the fucking card. Yeah, someone view you as a very limited being. Maybe when they met you, you were very limited, like you had a very closed mindset, or closed mind space, or a closed heart space. There's some things I think that you guys should watch out for within a particular individual with control, because I think this aspect of control comes from like a totally different background. I'm gonna be real. I think somebody has like a different religion, totally different skin tone, or totally different background in general. I think there's something wrong with this person's mental state because of that religion, because of that background. It's kind of caused like a lot of problems for them in the past because they're attracted to a very specific type of person, but they also won't give up on certain values that are destructive or incessantly like controlling, right? So they have judgment in the upright is in my mind is the karma. It's the karma behind these types of things. I think this person is kind of destined for themselves. Like they're destined to just fall down on themselves or be alone by themselves. That's kind of their punishment. If you're wondering what a person's punishment is through this, it's being lonely for the rest of their life, having no one ever truly understand them. Because not even you understand them, and this might have been a long-term relationship. So I'm thinking that this person's karma is the fact that they will never, ever, ever truly be understood. That's their karma. Yeah, they said I rebuke Satan. So in the devil card came out, devil card in reverse. I rebuke Satan. I rebuke Satan. What the fuck does that mean? What do they talk about in this context? Oh, in this context, they talk about the Antichrist. Maybe someone referred to you as the Antichrist, or thought you was unholy, or someone's family thought you was unholy when you was being born into this world. Someone thinks you're on. I pick up on unholy matrimony. Someone believes that you're unholy, like you're unclean, like you're not clean. Maybe it's because they had sex with you and got you pregnant, or they had sex post-marriage, so before marriage. They had some sort of like sexual deviancy problem, or they had sex with a lot of people before marriage and they viewed that as all illegitimate. So it's all something where they viewed y'all's relationship as illegitimate, because it doesn't matter whether you had a kid by them or a baby by them. It don't matter whether you are like the father of the child. It's like because they was not with you in a marriage, or your marriage was by that point corrupt, they don't view you as the real father or the real mother, the real parent. They try to like keep you away from that idea. Or it's possible that that's something you dealt with while growing up, was that your parent tried to keep you from your other parent. That this mental and emotional abuse due to what do they call that? It's not religious side. It's not religious side. It's something to do with like somebody putting someone on a and someone putting God on such a high pedestal that they can't even see like the bad things that they're doing. They just see that they are doing shit in the eyes or the mind of God. They don't view you as somebody who is respectful of God, and because of that, they also don't view you as a person or someone they want to associate with, even if you are their child. Okay, even if you are their child, they don't care whether you're their biological child. It's all about God. That's what I pick up on. It's all about God. It's all for God. That's what they keep saying. It's all for God. It's all for God. It's not for you. So you could be unhappy with what I do, but I do it all for God. That's what it's for. I don't know why you're unhappy with me. You know, King of Wands in the upright. It's like I'm gonna speak up for myself straight. You best believe, you know, you tripping if you don't think that I'm gonna sit here and deal with whatever you're saying. You know, you tripping if you believe that I'm gonna be disrespected by you just because of God. You know, and taking God's name in vain is also something big with this person. It's like you might swear and stuff like. You are so different from whoever this is, by the way. You are so different. So different. Incredibly different. Incredibly so. If you ever thought you were like this person, you really were not. Like, not at all. Not at all, Chief. Not at all. You were so painfully different that I feel like this whole entire, like, relationship was built on, like, the fact that you guys had maybe, like, a physical attraction in common, and that's about it. Like, or maybe there was a financial difference between y'all, and that was the attraction. Like, someone helped you out financially, or someone carried you financially in a way, or you carried them financially. It's like there was a benefit. There was some sort of benefits here happening within, like, a financial construct, where some type of, it might have been a physical relationship, might have been a material relationship, but it definitely wasn't an emotional relationship. Best believe it was not. Like, this shit looked like a whole entire hurricane of emotions. There is hurricanes going on right now too. But Four of Pentacles and the Emperor and the upright, yeah, this is like someone who's so imbalanced and so in. I think they're in their own world. Okay, because Four of Pentacles, when you look at this card, it is someone being able to balance finances, right? It is someone being able to hold their all financially. It is someone who is able to hold a job, right? And this might have been you. You might have been the only person in this relationship who could hold a job, who could hold something financially. The Emperor could be you. Okay, you could be the giver. Like I said, you're not a taker. You a giver. You a giver. So you just give and give and give and give until there's nothing left no more. That's what I view this card as. I think this is you. I'm going to say the Emperor is you, Gemini. You more masculine energy anyways, but I think the Emperor is you. It's so interesting. They keep talking about where you hid your money or how you hide your money now in order for this person never to get it. How it's easy for you. Like, you're the type to, like, hide your money in unexpected places, like in a sock, in like a tube or a sock or something like that, in your dresser. Like, you hide your money from people. Three of Wands, Seven of Cups, and King of Pentacles, and the Fool. Three of Wands, Seven of Cups. Oh, so this person always had a side bitch, or a side hoe, or a side hustle, or side something. They always had something going on the side. Now, this could be this. They always had drama on the side, and that's why the situation could never, ever, ever feel satisfying to you, because it was always drama. I get that song for some reason, the Drama Llama, Big Fat Mama Llama, that song. And that's old. That's an old ass song. I do not know why that just popped into my head, because I am not listening to anything like that. But I got the Drama Llama, Mama Llama, Big Fat, whatever. Then where he's talking about the llamas, and the llamas are perceived as different characters. That's what I think this person is. I think they're a different character to every single person that they meet. They're a different person and a different character. Like, they mean something different to everybody. Meaning they are able to shapeshift like a motherfucker. They can shapeshift like a motherfucker. They can shapeshift into whatever they want and whatever they need to be within that moment. And because of that particular trait, they had a lot of people led to believe certain things on the side that was all lies. All lies. It was all lies. There was no lies. There was no structure in what this person showed others. No structure. It just feels like constantly ever changing, shape shifting the ideas, and the relationship and the commitment. Like, 1 minute they're married, the next minute they're not married, the next minute they're in a relationship and someone's pregnant, the next minute they're not pregnant and nobody's in a relationship. It just feels like so much drama, so much bullshit, so much bullshit. That's really overwhelming. That's really annoying. I think this is why it's so hateful, and why you knew this person was doing this intentionally, and that's why you're so hateful. Is that they try to punish you for absolutely no motherfucking reason. They brought you into this while you already had said, I don't want to be a part of this. Right? After you said that you didn't want to be a part of this, I feel like that's when they started lying. Once you said that you was going to walk away, once you said you was like, I don't want to deal with this. This is too much drama for me. This is too much for me. I'm going to walk away. This person started lying. They started lying. And your radar, as far as like what you could tell from what was bullshit from reality, it began to blend. Because I think you just decided that because you love somebody, you truly did love them, that you was going to try harder for them. try harder to talk to them and understand them emotionally, and it's like they never deserved that though. That's something they never fucking deserved. That they didn't deserve that. They just didn't. So I'm gonna reshuffle. They keep talking about heartbreak. I'm not afraid of you is also something that I heard. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anything that you can do. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of what you do behind my back. I'm not afraid of you no more. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to ever talk to you again. It's like that type of shit. I'm not afraid of you, bitch. You played with me. You played too long. Okay? You're lucky you went on for that long, bitch. That's what I keep picking up on. You played too long. You played too long in my emotions, in my field. You know. You played too much. Yeah, there's only so. That's what they said. There's only so much that you can bend before I motherfucking break on you. You understand that? There's only so much I'm gonna be able to bend myself to try and respect and love you when you do not do the same for me. And since you do not do the same for me, I'm gonna break. I'm gonna break chains on a bitch. You know, I'm gonna walk away. It is what it is. I'm gonna cut the ties. It don't fucking matter to me at this point. Like I said, I think in response though, it's like there's something that you left behind that's really important. There's something you left behind that's really important. Who with me? Okay, so they talk about maybe you left behind like a whole slew of people. Maybe like you left behind your family. Like they said DNA, so that makes me think you left behind your family and the people that you associated yourself with so deeply, like that loved you, that really did love you. You left that behind. They said emotionally you had to take a break from the people that loved you because you thought they were also on this person's side, or you thought other things. You thought all these different things. You felt betrayed. You felt used, abused. You felt like this. I feel like this is something that is so like past related. I feel like all the reason why maybe you had to cut this person off is because of the past. I just continuously keep seeing the past pop up, and that's why I think the situation is so difficult, is because it's not even based anymore about the present and what this person can do for you presently. Like it would never ever matter. I want to let you know it would never ever matter if this person changed entirely who they were. If you think that if this person changed that you would be happy, you wouldn't be. Because I still see this person never ever ever owning up to any of the things that they could do. I really never ever ever. I could never see this person owning up to anything that they did to you. Ever. I really don't think so. It would not matter if this person changed who they were entirely. They would never apologize. They would never say anything to you to the effect of, oh, I'm sorry for doing this and this and that. They would never ever apologize. Ever. Because they don't view what they did as a problem. They don't view it as a problem. They view that as what was right at the time. So that's what's going on. That's all the past. Can we get to the present? Gemini? I want to talk about the present. We gonna switch decks real quick. Let me shuffle up. Let me do a little Bailey. Just because I really do. I want to focus on y'all so bad. But it's like this motherfucker just keeps popping up. So annoying. That's just like a gaslighting energy where like they constantly like always dance around the actual topic at hand. It's never a yes or a no. It's always a maybe. It's always a maybe and always a so, but never a yes or a no. It's never I'm sorry. It's always, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that's how you feel. I felt something different. For once it's not about you, bitch. For once it's not about you. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to say. For once in your motherfucking life, and that's exactly why I try to cut out all the. Let me skip the ads real quick. That's why I try to cut out all the side watchers or the people who try to view this from the outside, because they will not understand it. They will not get it. because they view themselves as right all of the time. Like they are everything that they did, whether it be good or bad. They believe it was done with a purpose, and because it was done with a purpose, that they will literally never apologize. Well, I obviously did this for a reason. I might have fucked you up mentally and emotionally and physically, but I did it for a reason. It's like, oh, okay, what was the reason then, right? What was the reason? Well, I cheated on you with so-and-so and this person and your best friend, all your best friends, and this motherfucker and a married woman, and I married this girl, and I did this and I did that. I did this and this with this person and this person. I abandoned this person. I did it. For what though? For what though? I abandoned you emotionally. And okay, I had to be hard on you. It's like, no, the fuck you didn't. For what? Why did that need to happen for this to be the result, right? Because is this the result you was looking for? Well, it all happens with a purpose. God always puts something in our life for a purpose. It's like, okay, so, if God did this and karma did this, right? Then you must be my motherfucking worst enemy, bitch. You must be the villain. You must be the villain in the story then. If we talk about God does this and this and this, fated, destined, whatever, then you must be the motherfucking villain then. You have to be. There's no other explanation. You have to be the villain. You have to be the antagonist of the damn story. The evil motherfucker who always tries to put shit in my way, who always tries to fight me, who always tries to make me feel some type of way. You have to be that bitch then. Because you definitely aren't loving me or making me feel loved, right? Or making me feel heard, making me feel respected. You definitely not. You're not doing what you should be doing as a partner, as a parent, as a husband, as a wife, as a child. This could be your own child. This could be either your own child, or you might even be the child in the situation. Okay, a fucking parent, a friend even. This could be a friend. This could be anyone. That's the problem, is that this could be anyone in this story, and so many people are going through it. This could be anyone in your life. That's the thing. That's why it's so difficult. That's why it's so hard. It's because you could be dealing with this on so many different levels. Like, this does not just have to be one level of your life, because remember, we attract what we need to work through, right? But there's nothing in my mind that says you need to even ever work through anything with this individual. Ever. I just don't. I don't see that. I don't see that. There's something so, like, unsettling and disgusting about this situation to me, right? Like, well, obviously I loved them once. Obviously there was love there at once when I didn't understand or I was emotionally immature, but you're not anymore, right? You're not anymore. You're like, what could I have possibly loved about this person or this situation or these people, a group of people? What could I have possibly loved about them then? I'm just not understanding. You may never learn what you loved about them. You may not even know that you didn't love them in the first place. You might have thought that they could love you better than you loved yourself. And maybe they did. Maybe they did, though. Maybe they did. Because they talk about mental illness here. They talk about being born with mental illness or being confronted with mental illness at a young age, and as a response, you ended up adapting to this mental illness. It became your life. It became your life. Let me take a sip of water here. It became your life, though. Someone else's mental illness became your life. That's what's up. And talk about, let's go back for a second when I talk about generational gap, where somebody said that, or there was this idea in tradition where therapy ain't right. Oh, don't go to therapy. That's for pussies. All they're doing is airing your shit out to the government. All they're doing is this and this and that, because nobody wants to get better in that fucking generation. Nobody wants to get better. Nobody wants to prove to themselves that they are better. They would rather just keep all that trauma. It's not bottled up. Remember, because people who say they bottle up their trauma, that's a goddamn lie, because it comes out in every fucking which way other than what they want. So they might want that shit to go away. They might think, oh yeah, my PTSD is clearing up, but in reality, they reflecting that shit on every single person that they live. And that's facts. They putting that shit down everybody's fucking throat. Everyone's gobbler, dude. Everyone's gobbler. They doing that shit to everyone. So, you know, I think that's a mentality. I think that's the mentality you was born with into this world. And I think that's the mentality that was pushed down your neck, pushed down your throat. And there's still people here that are living right now, that are alive right now, that still have that mentality and that ideal, and that is still affecting you to this day. It's still making you feel small, still making you feel insignificant, still making you feel controlled, still making you feel sad, angry, frustrated, depressed. All the things that you felt when you was young, you still feeling that shit now. Because there's nobody, sorry, I'm a little itchy, but there's nobody in this lifetime that has ever actually told you that what you're experiencing is real. So they just keep talking about like massive waves of anxiety, massive waves of just randomly crying. Like people call that like the bipolar depression and stuff like that. But I feel like often these things go undiagnosed because it's so different for everyone, and that's why putting one name on a illness or a mental illness or an emotional irregulation, I think just putting one name on it is not good enough. I don't think that's good enough for people, because I just don't view. I think everyone has their own emotional needs and their emotional wants and the things that they have less of and more of. So I just putting one name on that shit, it's not okay. I just don't think that's okay. You know, one diagnosis, right? It's like you can go to several different therapists and they'll diagnose you with 24 different things. But like, are any of those things true? Or is it just person to person, how life affects you, how your trauma affects you, how your emotions affect you, how your body affects you? It's like you can keep going down the line, but it don't make no motherfucking sense, right? That's what I never understood. It's like we use certain terminology for someone's several illnesses that they have. They use one motherfucking word. But it's not one word. It's not one thing. You can't. That's why they put you on medication and they can't prescribe you just one thing when you have several different things going on in your brain. It's because they can't quiet whatever that sound is, whatever that thing is. That's something you personally have to work through. You personally. I'm not saying medication is wrong, right? Because some people need that shit to quiet the initial like flare-ups. You know what I mean? It's kind of similar to when you're allergic to something, when they put the EpiPen in your body. It's like they're going to put a thing on you that can help regulate a little bit more. But what you really need is some talk therapy. You need to talk to someone for real. Like, that's what you need. But if someone's not willing to talk to you right in the way that you need, they're not willing to adapt or love, then how the fuck are they supposed to understand you, and how are they going to get what you're saying? If they are not willing to listen, how are they going to get what you're saying? That just don't make no sense. How are they going to understand, right? Because they can say you have ADHD, they can say you have this and this and that, you're bipolar, you're this way, but it can never ever add up to that feeling inside of you that makes you feel empty, or makes you feel unheard, or makes you feel unvalued, makes you feel not safe, right? Because they're not making it, they make it about the illness and not the experience. That's why. I don't think they really talk to people. I don't think they really listen to people. Just write random shit down on a piece of paper. Write name. I know this because I've been through therapy, y'all. I've been through therapy. I've been diagnosed. I have ADHD. I have BPD. I have OCD. But all of these things to me, right? It's not what I feel internally. No, I feel like I'm a normal person, maybe not living what we view as the craziest normalist life, where it's the white picket fence and that, right? Because that whole Americanized dream is so fucking retarded. It's something that don't even exist in this world. So I don't know why we even put that out there as a response, because it don't exist for no white man, it don't exist for no black man, it don't exist for no gay, straight, bi, whatever the fuck you are. It don't exist for nobody, right? That's why I never understood it. It's like, it don't matter what the fuck you are, right? Nothing that these people say is valid. It's just not anyone's life. So why do we say that? Why is the American dream, or this idea of like a white picket fence, even a terminology because it doesn't exist for anybody in this world. Not even the richest man. Not even the richest man. Elon Musk is autistic. Elon Musk is fucking autistic. Like, at Bill Gates, you know that nigga got problem. You know that nigga got problem. Owner of Facebook, what was his name? That weird looking motherfucker. You know that nigga got problem. You know all these people got problem. So why do we put that label on? And that's triggering, especially to Gemini, because Gemini, in my lifetime, Gemini are nothing but respectful and non-judgmental. They are nothing but respectful and non-judgmental. Every single walk of life that they come across, they try to understand it. They first try to understand it before they do the judging. The judging is something that only comes when someone is disrespecting it. That's the one place, right? The one time when someone's disrespecting them or making them feel uncomfortable. That is the one place and the one time where judgment is a necessity for Gemini. So that's why it just, in my mind, right, when we put labels and shit on all this, when you try to, tell your partner they got bipolar, this and this and that, or when your partner tries to tell you there's something wrong with you in the motherfucking head, or when your parent tries to tell you there's something wrong with you in the motherfucking head. If I'm being real, right, the person who's triggering that, whether it's you or them, there's obviously a problem here, and you don't have to. Why is it why does that person get to say that though? It's like everyone is different. Everyone got their own problems, their own issue. Okay? If your issues don't pair up with someone else's issues, then get to fucking stepping. Get the fuck out of there. Right? If this person triggers your every single fucking move, get the fuck out of there. Find someone who don't trigger you like that. Find someone who triggers you to the most minimal extent, and then deal with it. Deal with that. Because whatever is your problem, you only really learn that if you're by yourself, Gemini. You only learn your issues and your problems, like the things that trigger you, when you're by yourself. Okay? What triggers you in a relationship is not the same thing as what triggers you out of one. Okay? What triggers you in a commitment, in a romantic relationship, is not the same as what triggers you out of a relationship. So you need to get the fuck out of it. And you need to deal with this on your own. Because that's the only way I could ever see this whole, like, mental, like, I just feel like you're fucking frazzled. Like, I feel like everything's fried up in this bit. Right up here. It's fried. It's you're tired. You're sick. You're exhausted. You're feeling used and abused in more than one way. Physically, mentally, emotionally, all that. Why you got to stop giving people access to you. That whole experience that's going on in your head is yours alone. And I want you to experience that just for yourself. Whether that's traveling the motherfucking world. Maybe you go see, you go to Israel. Maybe you're somebody who, you believe in Jesus. You believe in God. Or maybe you're somebody who wants to go to China and see all the things about Buddhism, India, Hinduism, right? You want to go to all these different places and go through all different walks of life and see all these different religions and see all these different populations and understand them. Maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe that's something you want to see. Maybe you want to feel loved by more than one experience. If that is something you want to do, then that is what you aim for, right? Get rid of the side piece, right? Get rid of the side struggles, right? In my mind, the side struggle will be the partner that never ever supports you, the partner that makes you feel belittled, that makes you feel dumb, that makes you feel too dramatic, that makes you feel sour, the person that makes you feel irritated all the motherfucking time, can never validate you, never love you in the way that you need to be loved, never intimately love you in the right way, never cares about what you feel, what you think. It's all about themselves. That is the person that you need to sweep to the side. That is the one. That is the one. Okay? And whether that's long-term or temporary, don't even fucking worry about that part. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Travel to your motherfucking heart's extent. Please, by all means, get the fuck out of where you're at right now. There is nothing more in this world that makes Geminis happy than to speak and see the world freely as themselves. As themselves. Not worry about a motherfucking thing other than what's going through their head and what they're saying, what they're talking about. Communicating. Freely communicate with other cultures and you learn something. Okay? Go on like the talk show or talk to somebody. Talk to somebody that you usually want to talk to. You know, go to into these programs where I'm not talking about no fucking AA meeting. Okay? I'm not talking about no Alcohol Anonymous. I'm talking about go to these programs where they be dealing with people all across the world, immigration, you know, where they be bringing in all these different types of walks of life from different area codes, from different countries. Talk to these motherfuckers, dude. Talk to these people. That the different mentality and the mindsets, whether toxic or, you know, possibly more healthy than yours. You have to hear these things. That's the only way y'all are gonna learn. I told this to somebody today. You said the only way I learn is by communing with other people. That's the only way I ever learn. People across the world. It's communing with other people. Not watching the news is not good enough for me. I need to talk to people. I need to talk to these people. I need to understand them from a forward perspective. I need to hear the shit that comes out of their mouth, first person. That's what I need to hear. That's what you need, truly. That's what you need. Because the song right now is called Global Access. That's what you need. Okay, let's see. Let me get my other tarot cards. I don't know. These ones or these ones? We'll use this one. Let's see what else they want to talk about. So let's talk about the future, because I'm sick of all the past. I'm sick of all the past. Yeah, they talk about there ain't no lessons in this current life that you're living that you haven't already learned. So find the lessons that you've been looking for. That's the thing. It's like not every experience is going to be linear. Not every experience is going to be like, this is my person. You know, I found my person when I was on the cruise ship, or I found my person when I was in another country, or I found my person when we was both working in the same place. We was working at Michael's or working at a Publix or something. It's not always going to be that linear. Sometimes it's the weirdest shit that happens where you find love, where you find family, where you find when you finally feel like you're being accepted and treated well, treated with respect. Sometimes it's in the most unlikely of places. That's the thing. I'm not saying go wander the motherfucking streets. That's not what I'm fucking saying, okay? And y'all know, I know y'all know that, but I'm just saying sometimes it's in the most odd fucking places. It just don't even make no fucking sense on why or how you stumbled across it, but you accept it nonetheless. You have to. You have to. Not because the God said, not because it's destiny or fate, but because it's what's in front of you. With your two motherfucking eyes and your big ass mouth. Okay? That's what it is. 2 cups. Okay. So the future. 2 of Cups to me is like giving to yourself, like, because we got in this card twice, by the way. So this is also the same card that came out in the last deck, right? And we got 2 of Pentacles and 2 of Cups in the last deck. So that's why I think this is you talking to yourself. That song with Bruno Mars, talking to the moon. That one, like. I think there's something in that song, or something about you're completely alone and you're kind of talking to yourself at night. You're talking yourself down maybe from a hard day or hard struggles. That's something that's going to be happening, I think, night by night for you, where you're not going to be able to sleep. You're going to just be talking and talking and talking and talking to yourself. That's something that's going to be happening, I feel like, every single night for the next month or so. You're just going to keep talking and talking and talking and talking. Okay, what else is coming? Magician in reverse. Page of Swords. Magician in reverse. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's things that you feel like you need to get done before you blow this popsicle stand. That's what I heard. And before you leave this place, there's things that you have to do that you have to get done. You know this. What you also know is that, these things are strictly financial. These things are strictly based on material. They're not based on what you want, but it's also what you need. And so there's materials that you need to set in play in order for this leave whatever the situation is. Okay, in order to leave this whole entire struggle behind, there's a whole entire financial process you have to finish. You have to go through. Now, Page of Swords to me is someone who's kind of on their hands and knees, not begging, but you're getting to a point where it's feeling impossible. It's feeling really heavy. It's feeling very, very, very tough and very heavy on your back, on your chest, on your thigh, on your spine. I just keep picking up on it. It's getting real heavy. Six of Wands and the Emperor in reverse. Okay. Six of Wands is, you're not going to do this alone. If you thought you was going to do this alone, you're dead wrong for that. You're dead wrong for that. If someone is gaining weight or trying to lose, it's something to do with trying to lose or gain weight in order to, this is what you need to feel happy or successful in yourself, is like losing or gaining weight, or something to do with like that spiral or fluctuation when it comes to your body. You're trying to calm that down, or maybe you're trying to work out or exercise or something like that. There's something to do with like losing weight before you get to a certain point. Maybe before you like try to get into a contest, or before you try to go out and back into the dating world. Like there's something you need to do, and you know it when it comes to your body. But yeah, Six of Wands is like, you're not alone on this. So I don't know if that's what you thought, that you was going to be all alone on this journey. They talk about the Emperor in the reverse, which is essentially, you thought that you was being a little bit cynical, right? You was being a little bit of a bastard, a little selfish bastard, right? Where you're like, this is probably something I'm going to have to do all by myself, why do I always got to do something by myself? You complaining and yapping your mouth, and you say, why do I always got to be on my own? Why do I always got to do something by myself? Why do I always find these useless ass people, shooting your little mouth off, right? And then someone comes through. Sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes it is that simple. And like I said, this does not need to be romantic, but I do feel like it is. I feel like it is. You're not alone, though. This is a reminder of that. This is definitely a big reminder of that. Talk about so they talk about A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. Y'all know how like it feel like nobody knew that the relationship was as like, I guess, passionate as it was until two children came out of it. Isn't she pregnant again? It's like nobody knew their relationship was so passionate until they knew. Like now everybody knows. Everybody knows about A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. Everyone knows that that's a beautiful ass couple right there. Everybody knows that they're having kids and having responsibilities and commitments to each other. Everyone knows that that's Rihanna's man and A$AP is Rihanna's girl. Everyone knows that. So that's something that I think is coming in for you, relationship-wise. Whether it be a relationship as in your relationship with somebody else or your relationship with yourself. Everybody knows your woman's woman or a man's man, and that could be something to do with the LGBTQ community. But they talk about everyone knows your woman's woman or a man's man, or everyone knows that this is your man, or everyone knows that this is your woman. That's what's up. That's what they're talking about. Everyone knows that this to be true. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so different experiences have basically led up to this moment of wanting to be creative with your next journey in life, with your next cycle in life. I feel like you've missed out, and you could be older. If not older, then you're definitely wiser than most people, and you feel like it's kind of a waste that you didn't start to do something earlier. Maybe you didn't start to sell something, or you didn't start to sell your product, or you didn't start to like really realize that you can make a profit off of this until it was a little later in life. And so as a repercussion of this, it feels like you're sitting here and like, oh well, now like I'm so behind, I'm so old, compared to most people. But I just don't think that's true. Or I'm too wise for a relationship. I'm too old in my mind for a relationship. Or I'm like an old lady, I'm like an old man. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. It's not too late. So I don't know why you be saying all that. Or I'm too old for a sugar daddy is also what I heard. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, don't lie to yourself now. Don't lie to yourself, because there's some people out here to do anything and anything for a candy bar from your quarters. So don't lie to yourself like that. I'm just saying, the King of Pentacles, that's that person. That's that person who looking good, who smelling good, and feeling good, and like I said, that could be you, but I feel like this is another person. Looking, smelling, feeling good. Since someone who supports you financially, emotionally, they're coming through. I don't know why you think you bound to be in this world alone. I don't know. I understand that most people don't get you or understand you, but when someone comes through and they truly are trying, the shit is wild. The shit is wild. It's something else. Yeah, they said it's like your bread and butter. This is someone you ain't know yet. Those of you that are single and unhappy in your connection, or unhappy in your connection, this is someone who's new. Very new. Yeah, they talk about that new car smell. Maybe some of y'all getting a new car. You have to get a new car by the end of this month. Something happened to your vehicle. They talk about tires, or they talk about axles. They talk about something to do with this car kind of breaking down right in front of you. Maybe someone T-boned your car right in front of you, or crashed into your car or something like that. They talk about a car replacement. Yeah, because they talk about crash and burn. Something happened to this car. Might have blown up as well. But they talk about a new car. But this could also be new places, going to new places, or traveling to new places with somebody that you care about, or with somebody that you're passionate about, someone that you love. So traveling to new places. Okay, Traveling is something that I think most Geminis, it's hard for them to get on board with, because once they get into a comfortable job setting, a comfortable space of like, this is where I get my money's worth, my time's worth, everything. Like, once you finally realize it's okay to take a break, I think that's when things are going to kind of change for you. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to travel. It's okay to go to these new locations, new places that you've always wanted to go. It's okay to do that. So you need to basically get with a program and start planning that shit now. Because if it's going to happen within the next 3 to 5 months, you're going to have to plan this shit now. You already know that. Financially, that's just the way it goes. Put it into your finances. Knight of Cups. Okay, searching for something. Okay. So, searching for 10 of Wands. Okay, so searching for something else to do. I think what this means is searching for another job, or searching for another experience elsewhere, in another state or in another country. There's something to do with, like, job readiness, and whether you're ready for this amount of freedom. And I think you are. Okay, because I think you've dealt with like said like a lifelong servitude of dealing with being under other people, like constantly being under other people. And I think now it's like kind of well deserved. Like, you've worked very, very hard to become this person who can be over someone, who someone can trust, who someone can look up to, and someone who can, like, basically dish out the punishment as well. I think you've grown to be that person. So I think this is where you do need to take a little bit of a trip or a hiatus from your current job, and realize what skill set that you have and what it's worth. Okay, because if you're trying to switch jobs, or you've been thinking about it, but it's like, oh, I'm scared because I already have a consistent financial flow, I think you need to really think. I really do. Just take a break and think about it. Because you're not happy, very clearly. Otherwise, this wouldn't pop up for you. You're not happy. You're not content yet. You're not content. It wouldn't show up this way. King of Cups in the upright. 5 of Pentacles in the upright. 7 of Cups in the upright. And the Tower in the reverse. Okay. People, places, and things have failed me. People, places, and things have failed me. Okay, but I feel like this one situation will not. Getting outside your comfort zone is going to be a bitch. You know that, y'all? You know that? This one thing has not failed you. This one thing. What is it? Let's see. What is it? What are they talking about? What are they talking about? This one thing. They might be talking about a mindset or a mentality. They could be talking about dreams. Or your intuition has never failed you. Maybe you're supposed to be doing spiritual work right now. Or you're supposed to be communicating with people for work right now. It's something to do with your intuition, making it you got to use it for good, basically. So maybe that's something that's never ever failed you, and it's something that you need to profit off of. It's something that you need to focus on when it comes to like that biological clock, because I feel like there's almost a limit towards how successful you can become in the amount of time, not that you have on this earth, but the amount of time that you could possibly take out until you have to start a new job. So I do feel like your intuition is going to play a huge part in whatever you do next for work, whether it's international. You could be dealing with like international profit, or international, like you're a linguist or something of that nature, but it's something more international that goes overseas, or it's something that you could talk to people overseas pretty freely. Okay, that's what I feel like. You can move overseas or move around pretty freely. The Tower is that it's not going to happen, I don't think, this year. I do think that there's going to be a plan in motion though in November. So in November or in December, I think there's going to be a plan set in motion before the middle of the month, where you actually can move, or maybe not move, but transition into the next year pretty successful. Okay, they really are talking about something to do with like this intuition, where you get like an intuitive bump and you're like, this is it, like, oh my god, like, this is it, like I feel this is so right for me, or this person is so right for me, or this job is so right for me, or I need to do this now. Like it's not even impulsive, it's just intuition purely. It's like you would have never thought about this ever. It's just something you need to do right now. So what are they going to say about that? What is it? Yeah, you can't take no L's. Like, this is something that you got to just do. You just got to do it. Not panic about it, not even think about it. You just do it. That's what they talk about. Let me see what else they got. What else is coming up for Jen? What else is coming up for Jen? Oh, okay. So those of you who have been in the emotional unrest state, where you've just been thinking so much that it's keeping you up at night, you've been emotionally exhausted. Basically, you just keep thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and there's nothing that can stop you from thinking. There's going to be a point where you can relax and can rest, but they just keep talking about this idea of like you're not running away. That's what they want you to know. If you go to sleep, right? If you are choosing your sleep or to take care of your physical body, right, over dealing with work or dealing with a partner, right? Maybe there's something to do with like the sexual or physical aspect of a relationship with a partner that you haven't necessarily communicated yet. It's like when you need to work on yourself, you need to work on yourself. If you are uncomfortable in the state that you're in, your partner should be understanding. Your family should be understanding. Everyone should be understanding. If this is something that you have to do, it should be understood. It should be understood. Okay? Like this is something where it's not to argue. You can't argue about it. It's just there. Like this is something that you need. So regardless of what they believe or what they think, this is something that you need. Like you're done struggling about this shit. You're done fighting about this shit. Like, okay, bitch, like if you don't like what I do, then why are you in my life then? Why are you still here then? If you don't like the type of person that I am, why the fuck are you still here then? I don't understand that. The Chariot and the Upright, yeah, okay, so it's about time that I think that majority of these intrusive thoughts that you've been allowing you've been allowing to basically live rent free in your head, I think it's about time that you got rid of that shit, that you owned up to it. Like take responsibility for some shit, man. Like maybe you had a problem with responsibility in the past, but you definitely don't now. Like that's not something you should be carrying with you. It don't matter who you find to be important or more important than your own life. You need to set that aside so you can work on yourself, so you can be someone worthy and worth that love, that unconditional and undying love. Because right now you don't view yourself as worthy, and that's why it's so hard for you to find a person who views yourself as worthy. Okay, so let's work on it. They talk about Erica Badu. She's a Pisces, so maybe Pisces has a hard time loving you or understanding you, or understanding why you don't unconditionally love, why you're so afraid of love, why you abandon, or why you walk away so easily, why you lose your mind over simple or basic things. It's like it's not simple and basic to you, and maybe that's the difference between y'all. It's like whoever you deal with on a partnership level thinks everything's trivial, everything's basic, everything's easy, but it's just fucking not. It's like, why do you view it that way just from a logical perspective? That's kind of dumb. Like, you need to think from an emotional perspective and how you make other people feel as well. You can't just keep coming from that perspective of, well, it is what it is. And I'm going to accuse Gemini of this real quick, that Gemini sometimes can go too logical and end up hurting people's emotions and feelings because you try to trivialize other people's emotions and feelings underneath yours. So both emotions and both feelings for both of y'all are valid, because that is how you feel. You can't argue how you feel. That is how you feel, right? But the way you communicate that, the way you tell somebody that is what matters. That's the part where the disconnect happens. It's not about how the person feels, because the person can very much love you, very much care for you. You could very much care and love them, right? But the way that is communicated or digested or put forward is the important part. That is where it's lacking. That is where attention needs to be attended to. Okay? So that's why y'all need to, really set yourself in stone and be like, this is exactly what I want. Okay, I want this, and I want this and this from you. If you cannot give me that, then I am leaving. And if within a certain span of time, whatever you're comfortable with, whether it's next couple months, next couple weeks, next couple days, whatever it is, if that person can't step up to the plate, then set that boundary and say it's over. Get the fuck away from that person. Walk the fuck away. Walk away. It don't matter how hurt you are, or how you think this person can make you feel, or how they made you feel in the past. It don't fucking matter at that point. You walk. You walk because that's in your best interest. You walk because that's what you want. And since you're not getting what that's what you need. So since you're not getting what you need, you walk. That's just it. There's no arguing it. There's no sitting there, well, they do show promise, and, sometimes they treat me right, or they gotten a little better. The little better does not cut it no more. Especially if you've been dealing with someone for a long ass time. And a long ass time for a Gemini could be 6 months, that could be a year, that could be 20 motherfucking years. I'm saying. It could feel like 20 years. And I'm not saying that's always a good thing. Because to be honest with you, when you've been with somebody for 20 to 50 motherfucking years, and it feels that long, instead of feeling like you still in that, like, you should always be in that crux of like honeymoonism, right? Obviously not everything's going to be happy, not everything's going to be satisfying, not everything is always going to be perfect across the board. You're going to have those disagreements and arguments and all that, but you should always feel loved by your partner. That's the underlying feeling that you always should feel. You should always feel loved. You should always feel wanted. You should always feel like this person, regardless of the arguments and the anger and everything, the fighting or whatever, this person always loves you. You should always feel that. If you feel that lacking any type of way, you should have been communicated that. And if you did communicate that and they still haven't changed something, you should have been walked away. You should have been walked away. That romance that couples of 50 years have, has never ever been, it's never been perfect, but it's always been just right for them. While it's not right for somebody else, it's always been just right for them. Okay, it's just right for them, where their mind is, where their trauma is, where their life is, where they are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That was what was right for them for those 50 years, right? As dysfunctional and fucked up it may look from the outside, or perfect it may look from the outside, it's not what everybody else thinks. It's only what they know. Okay, they only know how they feel about each other. They only know what their relationship struggles are. They only know. They only know. Those are the only two people that could ever say anything. You can view it from the outside and still not ever know what a motherfucker thinks. It's about them. It's not about you. It's not about you. Okay? That's what's up. So let me get one more message out. What's coming for them? One more message. Give me that one more message. Okay. Separation anxiety. Okay. Separation anxiety. Sanity. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're very, very afraid that someone's going to try to change you. But I don't think they want to change you. I really don't think they want to change you. Or vice versa. I feel like this person's really afraid that you're going to try to change them. That you're controlling in some type of way, that you're going to try to change them. But that's not the problem. They're afraid of changing themselves. They're afraid of getting into a relationship or a commitment and becoming a different person. They're afraid of loving you. They're afraid of all the responsibility that comes with. They're afraid of committing fully to you, to marrying you, to putting in the necessary work to understanding you emotionally. They're afraid of doing those things. They're really afraid. They're afraid of a level of commitment that surpasses just surface level or sexual. They're afraid of that. They don't want to be faced with that type. I feel like it's all about pride. It's like, oh, I can't be seen being weak under a woman, or I can't be seen being weak under a man. I can't be seen being weak, and that's something that comes from your background and comes from this person's background. That is one thing y'all share in y'all life. Both of y'all either had a very strong woman or a strong male presence in your life. When you was a child, when you was young. You had a very controlling aspect, very traumatizing aspect of parenthood. And because of that, right? Because of that, it's put you both in the situation now where one of y'all is fighting and one of y'all is not. One of y'all is trying to walk away because of fear, and one of y'all is trying to walk away because you're not getting what the fuck you want. Because it's making you hate the bitch. It's making you hate the person. They fear and hate. Just like they talk about fear and love. It's like, honestly, when somebody talk about like the idea that love slowly becomes hate, especially when you're not getting what you deserve, it's like, that's true. In all honesty, hate, though it's a strong word and shit, people always try to say it's a strong word. Well, it's a strong emotion. Just like love is a strong fucking emotion, it's a strong emotion. There's not much different between those two. It's the antithesis, but also at the same time, they're both very, very strong emotions. And it could easily phase in between both of them. That's why I say there's a thin line between love and hate. There just is. And so that's why I feel like this is the situation, right? It's like you slowly hating on somebody, or you slowly getting to the point where you're starting to hate them. Well, they're still in that crux of being scared and fearful. But is that fair to you? No. Is this person a child? Absolutely not. They are a grown-ass man, a grown-ass woman, grown-ass person. They should have grown-ass responsibilities, but I don't think that's how their life is being to them, and I don't think that's how they're taking their life. So now what you do, right? What you do is you don't turn the other cheek and ignore the fact that this person ain't never ever going to give you what you want, right? This person knows you hate them. They know that. They know that you hate them. They know it. They know it. They're highly aware of the fact that you hate them or do not like them, or you do not want to fucking associate with them at all. They are highly aware of that shit. They don't want. You're like, I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing from you. Nothing. This person knows, dude. They know that. The moon, they talk about a Pisces, they talk about Aries, they talk about Sagittarius, they talk about every single sign, really. Other than possibly, they do talk about air signs, but I don't see Earth yet. I haven't seen Earth yet, but it's possible that this person just has a majority of one sign in their chart. They could also be another Gemini. Keep that in mind. But I see Sagittarius, I see Gemini, I see Leo. Yeah. Let's see. Can we get I wonder if we can get an oracle card real quick. Let's see what the oracles is about. Let's do some oracle. I'm gonna use the Crow Oracle. I love this one. I think it's beautiful, a very beautiful day. Let's check out the Crow. do three. Three of them. That's what I'll say. Grief, balance, communication. Alright, I'm going to hold up each card and I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Okay? I'm going to hold up each card individually. If I stumble, ignore it. I'm just a tad dyslexic. Just a tad. Just a little bit. Okay. The first card is grief. Alright. 22 is grief. 22 may be a number of significance. Crows make time to grieve, though they hear funerals and gather solemnly around their fallen friends in silence. It is essential to allow yourself time to feel sadness for loss, honor the memory, and express your emotions. Healing begins the moment you confront the source of your pain. Some of y'all have confronted the source of your pain. Just now, whether it was just now or many years ago, or you just cut ties with what you've already confronted. Grief may appear if you have suppressed emotions around a loss for growth to take place. You must address in the ending, which allows for closure. There's no right way or wrong way to grieve. This is a ritual that is unique to you. Make time to mourn. Allow the feelings to allow the feelings to surface. See? I told y'all, sacrifice. Don't sacrifice your motherfucking feelings and emotions for a bitch. Okay. Allow the feelings to surface because there are important lessons within the sorrow for the living. It's something that you still haven't grieved yet. You haven't gone through it. You haven't been through it. You haven't pushed it forward as an important part of your life yet. Because I think you're afraid to. In a way, I feel like, yes, when I say sacrifice, I do think I meant to say that. In a way, you're afraid of sacrificing your life so far, what you've built for yourself so far. You're afraid of letting yourself down from the soapbox, basically, of being everyone's strong person, the strong partner, the strong mother, the strong father, you're afraid of letting yourself down from that, or the funny person. It's like you don't want to be the sad bitch. You don't want to be the bitch that's pity. You don't want to be the bitch that the person who's going to sit there and be emotional or cry. You just don't want to be that person, but you have to be. Just like everyone has to be at some point in their life. You have to be as well. Okay? Yeah, if you be one sick motherfucker if you didn't go any time in your life without crying and mourning a person, even if the person has hurt you. Keep that in mind. It's even if the person has hurt you and scarred you, well, they don't deserve this, they don't deserve that. But your heart doesn't feel that way. Your heart feels like you need to cry some tears. Your heart feels like you need to grieve your relationship with an individual. Your heart still feels hurt, right? There's things that were left unsaid. Maybe you need to grieve that. There's things that you'll never know. Maybe you need to grieve that. There's emotions that were never expressed. Maybe you need to grieve that. But that's something that needs to happen now, not later. Not in the next year. It needs to happen now. You need to start this process now. You need to start it. There's no other way. So if that means you have to set everybody else aside, everything else aside, including work to a certain extent, right? You still need to live, but work to a certain extent, then you need to do that. You need to do that. If you need to take time off, then you need to do that. Travel, please. Y'all, travel. Okay. Number 4. And 4 could be of significance. 444 could be of significance to you right now. Balance, right? Have you ever noticed how even on a windy day, crows and other birds can stay perfectly positioned on a thin telephone wire? They seem almost unfazed or unbothered by the wind. When we are in balance, we meet external forces with our internal strength, giving each space enough to exist in harmony. When balance appears, you may need to call upon your inner strength, as an approaching situation may test your ability to stay cool and composed. Just like the wind, it too will make its presence known and then move along. Balance may also appear when your daily schedule could use some reorganizing. Are you creating time for yourself, or is the day consumed with tasks that drain your energy? Didn't we just say something about that? Didn't we just say you need to make time to grieve? We just said that. Come on now, y'all. We just said that. Okay, number 9. Number 9. And I got 999 tattooed on my chest, y'all. Oh, man. I love those numbers. For me, the significance of 999 is always having a dream, no matter what. Always having a future, no matter what. Always knowing that you're going to land somewhere successful, no matter what. It don't fucking matter, right? So that's the significance of 999 to me. Now, it could mean something totally different for you, but success was always within my motherfucking grasp. That's how I feel. Okay, don't matter how far down I am, whether whoever sets me there or where I am at in life, I'm always gonna find success. It don't matter how I flow, which way I go, who I get with. Don't matter. Number 9 is communication. When I lived in my 3rd floor apartment, one of my neighbor crows will often come calling on my balcony in the morning. This was before we adopted our pup, Layla, who took up chasing the crows away. There's one crow in particular who stood out that my daughter and I eventually named Brave One, because he or she would go right up to our sliding glass door and tap impatiently with his beak. This delightfully persistent bird was looking for a handout. Communication brings the message to speak up. State what you want. You may think those around you know your needs or desires, but that might not always be the case. Now is the time to articulate your wishes. Communication asks that you get clear on what you want so that there will be no misunderstanding or confusion later. Although communication may point to a situation on an earthly level, it may also indicate that you need to be clearer with what you want when communicating with your spirit guides or higher self. Are you being too vague? Are you asking for what you want exactly? Are you being too vague in your life with what would make you feel content? Okay, because to me, true happiness, right? By saying happy, that's just one emotion. We have to feel the whole span of emotions to feel comfortable in our own skin, in our own body, in our own home, in any situation. So if you're not feeling content with yourself and with your life, content enough to express, to be yourself, then you're not where you need to be. Okay, you're not happy. You're not happy with the job. You're not happy with the romantic relationship. You're not happy with the family. You're not happy as to where you can actually relax and be comfortable with maybe traveling outside of your comfort zone. Going to see places, traveling the world, visiting places that are within your means. You're still all tied up in the drama and the bullshit in there. And you need to release that. You need to let go of it. You need to keep pushing forward. You need to just go. That's what you need to do. You need to just go. That's what's up. Yeah, they say get the fuck out there. That's what they be saying. Yeah, get away from the control freaks. Or stop trying to control someone's reaction to what you tell them. Get away from the control freaks and don't be one yourself. Get away from all that. Walk away from that. Yeah, they say young, sprung, and single. So that makes me think of the fact that some of y'all are freshly getting out of relationships and you don't know what to do. You're kind of panicking. Because you thought, in a way, you believe that this whole relationship was a lie then. How did you end up in a lie? Or how did you end up with a liar? And that's because you lied to yourself all the goddamn time. You tell yourself you're happy when you're not. You tell yourself that it's okay when it's not. You tell yourself that it's okay to, be in a shitty relationship or an unhealthy situation. But it's not okay. And you know that it's not okay. So stop pretending. Right? Stop lying to yourself. And then the people that you attract more than likely can't lie to you. Because you are the truth thing, right? You are the truth. And you're going to tell people that means you're going to tell people straight when they're fucked up. Okay, you're going to tell them the truth. You're going to tell them about themselves. You're going to do that. That's who you are, Gemini. Embrace that. Don't start being like, well, I don't want to scare people away and this and that. You scare them away the wrong the people that you do not want in your life, that is who you're scaring away. When you tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, when people are afraid of you, those are the people you do not want next to you, near you. When they are afraid, fear, when they fear you, you don't want that. When they're jealous of you, envious of you, you don't want that in your life anyway. When they put forward that type of energy, that's not something that belongs by your side, Gemini. You deserve more than that. Let me put some of these away real quick. That's what's up. Yeah, they said karmic way of survival. History lesson. They said sever soul ties. They said assault. They said anything you can do, I can do better. They have stupid mistakes will cost you a lifetime. The solution to your problem is near. You're not cursed. You gotta say goodbye. Get away from me with that. Mask. Hold yourself responsible. You are enough. You're that bitch. You're that nigga. Sagittarius. Get away from the racist Sagittarius. Okay. Sibling rivalry. Get away from the racist or the bigot. Eat shit and die. That's the card that just came out. You got to tell someone to eat shit and die. Go somewhere. Get the fuck away from me. Restless for the future. Connection is getting stronger. 3 people involved. Emotional cheating. Ain't worth your time or energy. Low lives. Ain't worth your time or energy. Someone's down with a sickness. The relationship died a long time ago. Work smarter, not harder. Be careful. Solitude is necessary. Self-preservation. Bound to fail. Take a hoe out, crop a hoe out the picture. Defamation or assassination of character. Identity stolen by a freak. You will beat the odds. Give me all of you so I can give you half of me. And that card, I wrote that card specifically for people who believe that they was doing their best within relationships, when in reality they only giving half of what they could give, but the other person is giving full. All you do is lie. Control the lies that are being spun. Gotta get your hands dirty. Self-centered freaks. They used to rock with you. Let's see what else we got. I'm gonna keep going. I'm going through the pile. Peter Pan syndrome. Love of a lifetime. Betrayal. Scorpio. TikTok. Going steady or exotic man and woman. Hereditary. SOS. Overwhelmed or over dramatic. Can't fix you. 9 lives in one. That's often what Geminis tell me they feel. They feel like they lived many, many lives before this. Because they so, they got that knowledge. Buzzed. Confidence. Pull up. Anxiety. Stop making shit up. Why? Coming onto you hard. I want to release all this. Sad. Basic instinct. Freaking the fuck out. Pregnancy. Will come back. The fire sign will come back begging. So Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries will come back begging. Fancy coochie. New you. Fancy coochie. New you. Ass and coochie. They said, suck my dick. Yo. Virgo or Taurus. Okay, so there's an earth sign that's coming in your life. They talk about earth sign or air sign. They talk about Aquarius as well. Earth or air sign coming into your life. New person. Capricorn. One-sided. It will be over soon. Dictatorship, feared or loved. Bipolar as fuck. Bible beater. A best friend. Hinduism. We talked about that earlier. Fat pussy. Dream for telling the truth. boyfriend or girlfriend. They talk about haunted, gnome status. Again, fat pussy. Y'all need to put them hormones down. You said, well, now that I'm out and newly single and out on the scene. Listen, I understand. You thirsty. You just didn't want nothing dirty. But if you can restrain yourself for just a fucking second, I get y'all. I understand y'all. I'm a Gemini ascendant. I know what's up. Just believe. It's hard. Evolution is near. Material is not enough. Unfair advantages. Blood, sweat, and tears. Manifesting greatness. Fiending for validation. Young. Serial killer. Prey. Cameo gay for pay. Rain dance. Evidence. Insanity. No balance or stability. Too fast. The right hand man. Crazy. Possessed. Old age. Judgment. Therapy and silence. 999. Evolution is near again. Becky with the booty calling. Okay, so someone's got a booty call. Becky with the booty call. So you heard a phone call that you wasn't supposed to hear. Bodies on bodies. Vaginismus. Self-care. Vulnerability. Queen. Please. Go through it hell and back. Cross the line. Imagination. Crown. Zoo and attached to memory. So childhood memory. La Brujeria and green. North node and roots. Root chakra, north node. New you, Gemini. Ain't that funny? It says new you, Gemini. Speak on evil. Year. At the end of the year, something coming out about someone evil or who you knew was evil, who you told everyone is evil, nobody believe you. That bitch is an evil motherfucker, and everyone's going to figure it out. Everyone's going to know. So Taurus, they said the person could be a Taurus, or you could be a Taurus with Gemini in your chart. Someone's evil as a bitch. Evil as fuck. Suck my dick, Mason. Mason could be the name, or this person could also be a Mason, Freemason. Spiritual awakening, hearts. Fraud, euthanization, false death or false imprisonment, false death. Side man, side chick, jealousy. Cross the line, gone through hell and back. Twin connection can't change me. It don't matter where. What I picked up on is it don't matter whether God sent you, whether Archangel Michael sent you, whether the Buddha himself sent you. You are not my twin flame. You are not my partner. I decide who that bitch is. I know you ain't no motherfucking soulmate twin flame, bitch. That's what's up. Mean bitch popping off like popcorn. Nobody can save you. First instinct. I got it again. Can't change me, twin connection. I got it again. And I'm holding a big stack, y'all. I'm holding a big stack. So grab these real quick. And then that'll be my last round of messaging. Listen for your shit, y'all. Listen for your shit. They said sleep paralysis, restless nights. They said, why are you so dramatic? They said, they can't speak because they don't know. Robbing you of your kindness. Common misconception. Open a can of whoop ass. They knew what they were doing. Planetary alignment. A child at heart. It's lonely at the top. I don't think I have any more, y'all. Wait, I do. Hold on. Got one more stack here. One more stack. I got a lot of cards in my hand, y'all. There is nothing wrong with you. Let it all go so you can flow. Melancholy. Cry me a fucking river. Institutional. In your own mind, love. You just broke the spell, baby. Moving weird as fuck. Free yourself from others' expectations. You don't understand who you are. Family values. Tough choices. They're mad as fuck. And this one is listen to yourself when you talk. Listen to yourself when you talk. Bodies on bodies. We still got a couple more. Bodies on bodies. Candle magic. Pretty and afraid. Succubus. They're incredibly insecure. Best friend. Attack. Evil comes in every size. Nephilim. Chills. Don't quit now. It's right there. Where are you right now? Heart. Close your eyes. Jesus Christ. Clear your energy. It's too late. Talk about native fraud. Thrown under the bus. Reefer. Maybe someone got thrown under the bus for drugs, or maybe that's the plan, is that you want to throw them under the bus for doing drugs. Diary of the mouth. Player. Someone run their mouth too much. They threw themselves under the bus. That's what I picked up on. Guardian angel. Superstar. Manipulation. Medicated. Okay, yeah, someone's doing some fucking drugs and someone got a little too late. Feel like someone got arrested for being a little too late. Maybe putting their hands on somebody or doing something they definitely wasn't supposed to do. Someone alcoholic or someone got too lit. Tried to beat someone up. After the fact, they said. After the fact. Changed my mind. I don't see anything else, y'all. That's what they're saying. Wealthy. Okay, where's the wealthy part coming in? Wish. Wishing for wealth. Take opportunities. Just an opportunist. Visions. You're mad. Mars. Fear-based relationships. You sold yourself, admitted. Gain control. Mentally ill. Why are you so fucking naive? Suspicious activities. Destructive tendencies. I won't chase you. Shocking news. Gross. Oh, gross. I say gross. Okay, maybe that's a sign. Grass wasn't greener on the other side. I'm glad you died. Death magic. I'm glad you died. Maybe a part of you felt like you're glad someone died because they wouldn't have to deal with all the pain and the struggles of life, or you're glad someone died because they wouldn't have to deal with you. In a way, it's not being negative. It might be a case of like, I'm glad you died so you didn't have to deal with the lashing that I was going to give you for the bad life choices that you was making. Soulmate. Killer. Court ordered. Fuck around and find out. Sadistic. Okay, we dealing with some other motherfucker. I'm the villain. Malice. Bitch, please, you nasty. Foreplay. Murder. If someone wonders if someone killed somebody or someone has murdered somebody, if you thought this person wasn't capable of that, then you're dead wrong. They was a murderer, or someone was murdered. For sure. Don't say I won't. Yeah, because they keep daring on it. Yeah, all the words are connecting to someone's psychopathic tendencies. Communication coming in. All about the money. So if you was thinking child support, if you was thinking that someone wasn't about to kill somebody, you was dead wrong for that. Someone wanted to kill someone, or someone's going to do 25 to life, or someone's going to kill someone and possibly get away with it, get away with the money. Keep talking about poisoning and stuff. Body snatcher, they talk about poisoning. If that was something you were worried about, where it was like possibly you thought that there was some foul play in what your mom did or what your father did or something like that, you was right. There is some foul move. Someone did murder someone. Teen pregnancy. Someone did murder someone for some money, for some cash, or had them murdered, had them killed. But that's not information for you. That's what they're picking up on, is that you already knew that. So it's not new information for you. You knew that was going to happen. You knew that. If you thought this person was killing people, though, like for real killing people. I mean, like people was washing up in ditches and you knew exactly who both parties were involved, or you thought you knew who was involved on the other end, like the killer. You knew, you know exactly who it is. Like they talk about some women. Like I had this. Okay, Gemini. This is the last thing I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay, I had this wild ass dream last night. Right. In this dream, someone had. I was like this kid, right? I was not myself, but I was some kid, and so I was kidnapped by some dude, right? I was kidnapped by some guy. And it was some weird, creepy ass guy. This guy made me so motherfucking uncomfortable. He had like lollipops and shit like that. He had like blueberry lollipops or something like that. It was, and I kept saying, I was like, but that's my favorite flavor. In my dream, I was totally a child, right? I was sitting here like, that's my favorite flavor. You know, that's the flavor that I want. I want the blue lollipop. Now, I don't want any of the other ones. I don't want the apple. I don't want none of that shit. I want the blue lollipop. That's what I kept saying. I want the raspberry one, or the blueberry. And in this dream as well, this person had kidnapped me. In other kids, though, or other children, or other women. I think it was female children particularly. There was like 3 other children that they had, that he had captured, that he had taken. Okay? Other than me. And it was like using that trained knowledge of like knowing kids like sweets, knowing kids like cookies and snacks and stuff like that. It was some weird shit, y'all. It was nasty. It was some fucking weird shit. It was the most one of the most uncomfortable dreams I think I've ever had. But if you was wondering on whether someone was like a weirdo pedophile or something of that nature, you're dead on with it. You're dead on to that. Or you're wondering if something really happened in your childhood, or if someone really took you in your childhood, or you've been taken away from a parent in some type of way for some weird behavior. That is dead on. Like, you are dead on with this shit. Because I've never had a dream that was so... Like, I've had specific dreams before where they've taken me to places in other people's bodies. But, like, that dream particularly made me feel very disgusted. As soon as I got my ass up, I got right in the motherfucking shower. I was like, that is fucking weird, dude. Fucking disgusting and weird. I just feel like there was some nasty foul play going on with a grown-ass man who kidnapped, I don't know if it was 3 kids or took his 3 kids. It might be his 3 kids or someone else's 3 kids. But a grown-ass man was doing some nasty shit to some female children. To some sisters, maybe. So, like I said, if you thought that this person was capable of hurting people, killing people, doing some wild shit to people, you're absolutely dead on with it. You're like, oh, maybe he murdered this girl. Yeah, he did. You know, I don't know who's been looking into those cases as of late, like maybe mysteries, maybe unsolved cases. If you thought it was this particular male, you was right. This creepy ass male. It is this man. It is this guy. It's this guy. It says shocking news. Yeah. So it is this man. They said it's a Taurus, or this person's giving lucid dreams. Like I said, whoever it is, Aries or Taurus. They keep talking about like someone who kills dependent on what they feel emotionally towards the person. So I feel like it's like they feel like a certain type of look reminds them of their past, or it could be like someone who reminds them of their sister or their mother. I watched this weird ass video too, where this dude on TikTok was, y'all probably seen, you might have seen this shit, where this dude on TikTok was being all weird to his chick. He was saying like mommy, mommy, mommy or some shit. He kept saying mommy, mommy, mommy. He was like laying on her chest and kissing her up. And he was like mommy, 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 calling her mommy. It's like he's a grown ass man. He looked like he's in his 40s, and she looked the same. And you saying mommy, 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 like you a weird motherfucker. You a weird ass bitch for that. Kissing her on her neck and shit. You a weird ass bitch for that. There's some deeper issues that we got going on out here as a society, y'all, as a system. This shit is fucked up. Some people really do need some medication. You best believe. Weird ass. Alright, Gemini, I appreciate y'all. If you like this video, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, if you want to see more of videos like this, then obviously follow and turn on the notification bell so that you can get, you can pick up what I'm putting down. Because I be doing these lives every now and then I also do post individually filmed readings that I've done. Those are more or less like I would say they're very specific, but if you like my vibe, then more than likely you're gonna be just vibing with the readings. Okay, that's what's up. Now, also, I do have an Etsy where I do candles. I do some candles. I have so many leftover candles that I need to get rid of. But majority of them are something that I made probably within the past year or so. They're spell candles, okay? And if you don't know what that is, it's basically a candle where it brings in positive affirmations depending on what type of thing you're looking for. If you're looking for money, I have a candle called Money Honey. If you're looking for a candle that can help with spiritual awakening or spiritual justice, or help you with tarot readings, maybe you get too little too muddled when you're doing tarot, I have a candle called Spirit Balm that will help you with focusing when you're doing tarot readings. It'll help you with communicating with spirit. Okay, it'll help you with that. It'll help you with lucid dreaming, so you can have those experiences that usually you maybe don't get. Maybe you're not as open. You want to open up. Then I would try Spirit Bomb. I even have that bitch lit right now. I have that and another candle lit right the fuck now, just because I like the scent of mixing. And then I do have one more that is called Love Me, Fuck Me. And if you be looking for, a satisfying relationship that you can have with yourself, so self-love, right? Self-love, self-fulfillment, and also you're looking for a little bit of like a thrill, okay? You're looking for a thrill. You're looking for someone or something where you can get like an emotional thrill. I would suggest using that candle. That candle for me has been very, very successful. Helps me clear my thoughts when I'm dealing with romance. I don't overthink as much, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know the science behind the shit. It might be just the sense. Might be the sense in general. The sense in general could be doing something to my brain and making me think a certain way. But we have customers and we have reviews. So go over there and pop over and check the shit out. I will be eventually putting my personals up on Etsy as well. The reason why I have not done that, because Etsy takes a lot of those proceeds, and I want to put a majority of the proceeds into this channel and into advertising and into getting new people to watch me. So it's a little bit difficult with it that way, but more than likely I will be putting personal readings over on Etsy. So if you're looking for that as well, go to the Etsy. Join my membership. I want more people to join the membership as well, motherfucker. I want more people over there so that I can do some more like very private readings. Like I want 24 to 25 people before I start doing lives over in the members lane. I want 24 to 25 people to be up in that bitch, so that I'm talking to someone. You know what I mean? It's not just no echo chamber. I love my supporters. I love the members that I have currently right now. They've been so patient with me, so loving towards me, towards my channel. But I want to see more people up in that bitch. So if you want to see more very personal messages from me, like you want to be a part of that very small collective, that tight-knit group up in that bitch, then join the membership. All right. Thank you, Gemini. I appreciate you. I love you. Of course I love you. Gemini, I'm Gemini ascendant. Yeah. Gemini ascendant. All right. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.